that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
17 members and associates of the Hells Angels are facing criminal charges in a violent attack.
Federal agents allege the outlaws sold drugs, traded firearms, and engaged in insurance fraud and even tampered with government witnesses.
We have learned there is cell phone video as well as surveillance video of evidence in this attack.
The U.S. Attorney characterized today's raids as historic, the largest federal bust on organized criminal gang activity.
Retaliation is common for crimes involving biker gangs. However, it could happen anywhere because of how interconnected gangs have become nationwide.
The 3-year investigation resulted in 42 federal indictments on a variety of charges, including racketeering, money laundering, drugs, gambling, insurance fraud, and extortion.
There's a bunch of bikers up here, and they're shooting guns and stuff. I need the police now.
Play on foot going towards 2nd Street. Okay, receive.
Then you see a pack of Hells Angels going by, people are going to want to look. Next thing you know, cars. Because they're just staring at us and not paying attention to stop traffic.
If you wanted to break the law on an everyday norm, you should have joined a street gang. That's what they're known for. That's what they do. You're not allowed to steal cars on my block. We steal those cars.
I mean, it was so bad by us in Vegas. I was in the pool swimming, and the guys came back. Hey, Pee-wee, the cops are here. They want to talk to you. I said, well, go talk to them. Find out what they want. And they came back. They go, they want to talk to you.
Typically, if you leave the club, if you haven't been in for 10 years, you're automatically out back.
Got put out in 2006. Back in 2007, wound up going into Cannon. 2011. Came out of there. I had 4.5 years to walk off with zero support from that club.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today we got a lot to talk about, but we're going over to the Vagos today. We're going to talk about the Vagos Motorcycle Club. They had some charges dropped. You know, we report on everything, not just when people get arrested. When they get the charges dropped and they're vindicated or something like that, we're going to report on it. So we give everyone a fair shake. And if any of these motorcycle clubs that I'm talking about, if they ever want to comment, the option's always open. Lindsay, how are you? Thank you for joining me today. Bella, what's going on? Good morning. Wydell, how are you? Mickey Griggs, what's going on? Shout out to Mickey Griggs. I want to give a shout out to Mike Ball. Shout out to Mike Ball. I was watching him this morning. He's got a great show. Go subscribe to Mike Ball. So today we got a bunch of cases to talk about, but there's some wild ones. So we're going to start with a very bizarre story. There was a kid riding a bike in Cincinnati, Ohio. And you see the bridge, right? He hit the side of the bridge and flew over the bridge into the water. He ended up passing away. Here's the bike. The bike flew onto the roadway. He flew into the water. And he was a young kid. It says body of motorcyclist who fell off a bridge into the Ohio River recovered. Cincinnati, the body of motorcyclist who was launched from his bike into the Ohio River after a crash has been recovered. Boone County Water Rescue said they recovered the body around 5:40 p.m. Near the suspension bridge. They say the body has since been taken to the medical examiner's office. The rider was headed into Ohio when the motorcyclist hit the back of a vehicle, stopped in traffic. The rider was thrown into the water below. 2 people on the riverbank jumped into the water to save the motorcyclist. They had to be pulled out and treated by the paramedics. Boone County Rescue said their sonar specialist team arrived on the scene around 9 p.m. on Saturday to indicated sonar efforts while going on with a visual search. Efforts were taking place. Those search efforts stopped around 1 a.m. on Sunday, and they picked back up around 8 a.m. They say in conjunction with Hamilton County Police Association underwater search and recovery unit sonar vehicle search efforts took place on Sunday through 10 p.m. Tina Barbosa, a friend of the family, said he was known. They known the motorcyclist for about 15 to 20 years, and they're still trying to process what happened Saturday night. That's an insane thing. Like, she said, when I found out, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I just couldn't believe it, she said. It was his father that called me and said what happened. For the past couple of days, Barbosa has been out on the river hoping to find her longtime friend. We've been going several hours back and forth from the bridge, right where on the landing, where the accident happened, all the way to where the ferry passes, the ferry that goes to the airport, Barbosa said. She said about 15 people, including family members, were searching in multiple areas as well. Several motorcycle groups gathered at the public landing on Monday. We were here able to have an opportunity to pray with the family and comfort the mother, which we get a chance to do, said Daz, Kingdom Warriors Christian Motorcycle Club president and founder. They came to show their support for a fallen rider and his family. Grieving is difficult and it's hard. It takes time. And this is very beginning. So we are here at least just to offer hope, said the pastor of the Kingdom Warriors Motorcycle Club. Motorcycle Groups Local 12 spoke with the news on Monday and talked to the victim's sister. They said she told them that she would like to see a high railing and fences to prevent something like this from happening again. I mean, this is kind of like a freak accident. You can't predict something like this, He hits the back of a car way up there on the bridge and gets launched into the water. Like, that's just some freak accident stuff. And here's his bike. It's pretty crazy. But they did recover his body. So let's talk about the Vagos. Shout out to the Vagos. So charges have been dismissed, or they were dropped. Charges were dismissed against Vago. It says biker gang members. Bakersfield, California prosecutors have dismissed felony charges against alleged president of the Antelope Valley chapter of the Vagos biker gang, it says. Charges of gang participation and gun and ammunition possession by a convicted felon were also dismissed on Thursday against John Eric Anderson, according to court records. With the current state of evidence, we are unable to proceed at this time, prosecutors said in an email. It's unclear if the case will be refiled. Ulysses Neravetti, the alleged sergeant of arms of the gang's Antelope Valley chapter, remains charged with multiple weapons offenses. He has a hearing scheduled for mid-July. Charges stem from reports in June of last year of the Vagos members harassing customers at a business in Tehachapi. Deputies searched the Sergeant Arms home on Dawn Avenue and located Vagos riding jackets, one with a loaded gun in the pocket, on the couch near juveniles, according to a court filing. Investigators found another gun hidden in a motorcycle and a fully automatic machine gun and a 40-millimeter launcher, police say. One of the riding jackets had a patch identifying uh, Navetti as a gang sergeant of arms leadership position, according to the filing. Anderson was arrested at his home in Rosamond. So they ended up dropping the charges against the president, but the sergeant of, or they dropped the charges against the president, but the sergeant of arms still faces charges. Here is the launcher they found there on the left. A bunch of bullets and some guns. I mean, a lot of times there'll be legal guns and they'll parade them and put them all in a line with their cuts and they're legal guns. It's pretty insane what they do. And I don't understand. They're probably going to end up bringing the charges back up. You know how they do. Mark, what's going on? Shout out to you, Mark. Thanks for joining me today. We got a lot of people in the house. Jaman, what's going on? Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. Got a lot more information for you guys. Darren, what's going on? So we're going to talk about how this case came to be. So this is how it all started. The alleged president and sergeant of arms of the Vagos biker gang arrested. Bakersfield, California, the president and the sergeant of arms of the Antelope Valley chapter of the Vagos biker gang have been arrested on suspicion of multiple weapons offenses. According to the sheriff's office, John Anderson, 46, the alleged president, and Ulysses Naravet, 37, were arrested this week, officials said. According to sheriff's officials, deputies on June 14th received reports of Vago members harassing customers at a business in Tehachapi. Deputies searched Ulysses' home on Dawn Avenue and located Vago's riding jackets, one with a loaded gun in the pocket on a couch near juveniles. A warrant was filed by investigators. Investigators found another gun hidden in a motorcycle, fully automatic machine gun, and a 40 millimeter launcher. One of the riding jackets had a patch signifying that he was the sergeant of arms. So they're scheduled for a court hearing in Mojave, and they were doing court on Monday, it says. Now here's another, this is when the warrant was served. They arrested 2 leaders, a president and sergeant of arms, on weapons offenses. They learned that several Vagos motorcycle members in Tehachapi area were allegedly harassing customers at a local business. I would like to know what that was all about. On July 3rd, deputies followed up with their investigation and executed a search warrant. So, okay, they're harassing people at a business. Why would they go search their homes? That just doesn't make sense to me. That's got like alarm bells ringing. Okay, they get in trouble for harassing someone at a business. So why do they go search their home? And what prompts them to go search their home? It makes no sense. But allegedly, that's what they did. So maybe they, I can't speculate, but maybe they got some paperwork wrong or something. Maybe they got the search warrants illegally or something. But why, if they were in trouble for harassing customers at a local business, why would they search their home? It says on July 3rd, deputies followed up with their investigation and executed a search warrant on the 3100 block of Melvin Street in Rosamond. Deputies arrested John Anderson, 46, of Rosamond, and charged him with felon in possession of a firearm, felon in possession of ammunition, and gang enhancement. And those are the charges that they dropped. Anderson was revealed to be the president of the Antelope Valley chapter of the Vagos. Deputies also arrested Ulysses Naravet, the sergeant of arms of the Antelope chapter. It's just very odd that they would raid their houses. Like, it just really doesn't make any sense. Okay, they're harassing customers at a business, so they're going to go raid their houses? It makes no sense. But they recovered these cuts and all of this. I think that's ammunition in the bag. And they dropped the gang enhancement charges against the president. It's just weird. It makes no sense. RV Docs, how are you? Or RV Dog, what's going on? How are you, man? Thanks for joining me today. Make sure you guys check out Patreon. I can't stress it enough. There's dope content on Patreon. Path Killer, how are you? So I got another wild story for you guys. This is coming out of Hollywood, California. So tragic. 7-Eleven worker declared brain dead after being attacked by her manager at work. California 7-Eleven employee suffered irreversible brain damage and was declared brain dead after she was attacked by her manager, her family says. Jessica McLaughlin was finishing her shift at a Hollywood location of the convenience store on June 24th when the assistant manager began antagonizing her, her brother said. Fight quickly escalated, and the Los Angeles police officer were called to the store about a felony battery. The argument turned physical. When officers arrived, they found a woman in her 20s unconscious on the floor. Police said the victim was rushed to the hospital, but the suspect got away. No arrests have been made as of Monday. Sean McLaughlin said his sister's co-worker told him the manager threw a bottle at his sister before pinning her to the ground. The manager then straddled Jessica and cut off her oxygen, causing her to go unconscious. The manager then attempted to erase the store's surveillance footage before fleeing the scene on a bicycle, Sean said. Police have not named the manager as a suspect or corroborated the family's claims. The LAPD is searching for the suspect. Their investigation is ongoing. The victim's brother said the doctors told their family that the lack of oxygen caused irreversible brain damage, which left her brain dead. Jessica's family planned to take her off life support either Tuesday or Wednesday, pending funeral arrangements. Jessica had reportedly told her family that she was being bullied at work before the incident. Sean also detailed the assault in a GoFundMe made to cover Jessica's funeral expenses and medical bills, writing that his sister was attacked violently and senselessly by one of her managers. She held her down. I guess it was a woman that attacked her. She held her down, sat on top of her, and didn't let her breathe while the coworkers tried to help and stop it. They were attacked too. When she finally got free, she collapsed. She wasn't breathing, he wrote. He described how the coworker attempted to give Jessica CPR, called for help, but it was too late to save her. Doctors and detectives later confirmed that we already knew in our hearts Jessica didn't do anything wrong. She was a victim, and this attack should have never happened, he added. The grief-stricken brother remembered his sister as his rock, writing, Jessica had a way of making people feel safe, accepted, and loved. I guess not with this manager. They didn't feel that way. She had such a beautiful soul and deserved so much better than the way her life was taken from her. Now we're trying to give her the goodbye she deserves. We want to give her a beautiful service, something that honors who she was. She was deeply loved. That's a sad situation. She was just trying to work, and who knows, right? Hey, Patrick, what's going on? So let's talk about yesterday's situation. You know, I came on here and did some breaking news about the raid that happened over there at the Pagan's Motorcycle Clubhouse. And I have a video to go along with that one today. So yesterday, there was a raid at the Pagan's Clubhouse. And it had to do with the shooting that happened at the Outlaws Clubhouse. Here's a picture of the front. So I guess they busted through the front door and busted through the side of the building. So we're going to take a look at this video. It's pretty detailed. They go inside and everything, so we get to take a look. But shout out to everyone that takes the time to watch this show. Let's get into it. Hit the like button.
Shattered glass filling the parking lot of a notorious biker club building. This morning, the State Bureau of Investigation executed some search warrants at the Pagan Clubhouse along Highway 321. Channel 9's Dave Faraday is live for us there now. And Dave, the investigators told you this is connected to a shooting involving a rival club just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Erica, a spokesperson with the SBI told us earlier today that the search conducted here in Lenoir was in connection to that deadly shooting at the Outlaws Clubhouse, which is down in Newton. If you look behind.
So you guys want to know something funny? I spoke with Dave, this guy Dave, right? And he told me he was trying to get some pagans to talk to him. I said, that's never going to happen, bro. Never. Give up now because it's not going to happen. So he comes back and says, you're right. Not going to happen. They made it very clear that they're not talking.
You can see the Pagan's Clubhouse.
Told you so.
It sits right along Highway 321. I spoke with several neighbors in this area. They described hearing 2 loud explosions and then SWAT moving in. The SBI says 2 SWAT teams in Lenoir went to the Pagan Clubhouse around 4 a.m. In daylight, we could see the shattered glass and damage to 2 doors. Betty Pittman lives a block away and woke to the sound of the raid.
Me, my husband, and the grandbabies, they scared them to death. They didn't know what was going on.
The SBI says it executed a search warrant here as part of the investigation into this shooting 3 weeks ago at the Outlaws Clubhouse in Newton. 2 people were shot and 1 man died. This is the 911 call made that morning.
Medical attention. Gunshot. Okay, where you got it? There's multiple.
A short time later, a dispatcher named the Pagans as possibly being involved in the shooting at the Outlaws in Newton. 25 miles away, Pete Walser can see the Pagan Clubhouse from his front yard in Lenoir and supports police efforts here.
I think it's good. They need to kind of move out of here and let the neighborhood be peaceful again.
So far, no one has been charged in connection with.
So that guy's saying it's not peaceful there and they cause a lot of ruckus, so who knows, right?
With the deadly shooting in Newton. But SBI agents say Anthony Card was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon at the Pagan Clubhouse this morning. This neighbor, who asked we not show his face, hopes the group finds a new home.
I'd like to see him gone because it's just a bad element. It's all hours of the night, all hours of the weekend.
And I did try repeatedly to talk with members of the Pagans earlier today. They had no interest in talking with us about what happened here this morning. The SBI told me that they were out here for more than 3 hours investigating. Reporting live from Lenoir, I'm Dave Faraday, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Dave, thank you. We have more details now as the Department of Justice considers the Pagans as one of their big 4 motorcycle gangs. They consider them to be highly structured criminal groups, saying that their members engage in violent crime and weapons and drug trafficking. The DOJ reports there are about 300 active motorcycle gangs in the U.S., ranging in size from 5 members to some chapters that have hundreds of members. The Outlaws, also part of the Big Four. Back in 2010, when the ATF raided their clubhouse in Newton, Dave was invited to take this look inside. Saw that video there showing the damage, including a large hole there where law enforcement blasted their way inside. Members of the Outlaws told
Look at that.
Dave
They
at
busted
time that
the
anything that had their
cabinets
names
right
on
off the
it
door.
was taken.
A man has been charged in connection with a search at a clubhouse in Lenore. 38-year-old Anthony Lee Card was arrested today by multiple agencies. He's charged with possession of a firearm by a felon. At 4 a.m. today, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, or SBI, in partnership with the Lenore Police Department, the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office, and the Newton Police Department, executed a search warrant at the Pagan Clubhouse in Lenore. During the search of the building, a male occupant identified as Anthony Lee Card was arrested and charged by the Lenore Police Department. The search warrant was executed without incident. Card was taken to the Caldwell County Detention Center for processing. Bond was
Ken, what's up?
$50,000 secured. He was not listed as an inmate as of this afternoon. No additional information is available at this time.
So he was not listed as an inmate this afternoon, so he could have bonded out. He had a $50,000 bond. But this situation, it's getting crazy because, I mean, it all started over there at the Outlaws Clubhouse in North Carolina. If you guys remember, there were like 30 shots going back and forth. But the strange thing is the police were there monitoring the Outlaws Clubhouse because it was like their 23rd anniversary of being in that town. And the police were there monitoring it. So they know exactly what happened. They knew who's involved. Like, come on. I'm not buying it. They watched the whole thing go down. So they're having their big party for being there for 23 years, and all of a sudden, someone comes driving by and shoots the place up. And then we have the dispatch call. I'll play that for you guys. Let me just get it real quick. Make sure you hit the like button.
213.
Go ahead.
1605 North Main Avenue. 1605 North Main Avenue. It's going to be Outlaws. Shots fired. Per county, at least one person hit.
10-4 on 18.
Right. 40.
17.
15th at East Side. Do you know if there's shots still going on?
I don't have that information at this time.
Joe
County
Blunts,
called
happy
in and
birthday,
said
Joe.
They got EMS en route. I'm on the phone with someone now who's saying a gray Suburban just took off from that area moments before. Trying to get more information.
10-4. 13 coming out 23.
14 coming 23.
Per person on scene, CPR's in progress. 2 victims, one to the throat, one to the arm.
What?
Sierra 11 FA HP Newton, special attention to comments surrounding reference officer safety. Seems to locate a suspect vehicle from a shooting incident that occurred at the Outlaw Clubhouse in Newton. Suspect vehicle is a gray or silver Chevrolet Suburban. Last seen traveling northbound on NC Highway 16 Business in Newton. Unknown number of occupants, but several shots were fired with injuries sustained. Use extreme caution if interacting with a vehicle matching this description. Possibly conducted by rival motorcycle club, the Pagans. 30 Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Station. Possibly conducted by
Club.
rival.
She was going to say gang. Possibly conducted by a rival motorcycle club.
Possibly conducted by rival motorcycle club, the Pagans. 30 Catawba County Sheriff's Office. Station clear.
So they knew exactly. They knew exactly who was involved with this situation before they released any of this to the public. They knew what was going on. And I guess maybe it was last year, I think. Some a pagan was riding by the Outlaws clubhouse and he was shot in front of the clubhouse. So, I mean, there's been a long battle going back and forth there. And now this happens. The Pagan's clubhouse gets raided. So during the raid, they end up arresting a guy for possession of a weapon. Criminal possession of a weapon. So it's not even like it's just a regular possession charge. You get a long time in prison for criminal possession of a weapon. I think it's like 10 years. So, SWAT raids Pagan's motorcycle clubhouse tied to deadly shooting involving the Outlaws. Lennar, North Carolina. SWAT teams conducted a raid early Monday morning at the Pagan's motorcycle clubhouse in Chadwell County in connection with the deadly shooting at the Outlaws clubhouse in Newton on June 8th, where one person was killed and another person was hurt. The State Bureau of Investigation, or the SBI, confirmed that 2 SWAT teams from Lennar Police and Sheriff's Office executed a search warrant at the Pagan's clubhouse around 4 a.m. The raid is linked to a shooting incident that happened at the Outlaws clubhouse, which occurred a few weeks prior. Neighbors reported seeing significant police presence along Highway 321 and hearing an explosion as the raid commenced. Resident Betty Pittman, who lives blocks away and woke up to the sound of the raid, me and my husband and grandbabies, it scared them to death, she said. We didn't know what was going on. The SBI stated agents spent over 3 hours collecting evidence from the clubhouse, so they walked away with a bunch of evidence. No charges have been filed related to the Newton shooting. However, during the raid, Anthony Lee Card, which is this guy, he has a lot of white supremacist tattoos, I've noticed. The one on his throat. There's a bunch. If you guys know any of that. The thing right there on his chest. Them 2 circles, they look quite familiar. During the raid, Anthony Lee Card was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon by Lennar Police Department. He was taken to Chadwell County Detention Center and being processed and currently under a $50,000 secure bond. Resident Pete Walser can see the Pagan's clubhouse from his front porch and supports what the police are doing in the area. I think it's good, he said. We kind of need to move out of here and let the neighborhood be safe again. They kind of need to move out of here and let the neighborhood be safe again. A neighbor who didn't want to be identified hopes the group finds a new home. I'd like to see them gone, the neighbor said. Just a bad element up at all hours of the night. So that's what they're saying about the Pagan club. I mean, yeah, the Pagan clubhouse, but the outlaw neighbors didn't have anything really bad to say about them. There wasn't that many incidents. The cops said there was a bunch of incidents, but the neighbors didn't really say much because I don't think there's a lot of houses around that place. Yeah, happy birthday, Joe, man. Hope you had a good one. Every time a club has a get-together, cops are watching most of the time, right in the street. You know how it goes, but most of the time, They are scared. Who, the cops are scared? So if you guys seen last night, I dropped part 1 of Flair's interview. He's the former Chingaling vice president. His interview is really good. Part 1 dropped last night. Part 2 dropped tonight. If you want to see more of that interview, you can go check it out right now, either on Patreon or join the membership, and you could see the interview. So Flair has a GoFundMe page. He has a spinal cord injury he got on his motorcycle. And if you guys can help Flair out, I'm going to drop the link for the GoFundMe page. It's Help Me Fight. It says, help me fight for my independence after spinal cord surgery. He raised $3,183. His goal is $15,000. So if you guys want to help out Flair, I would really appreciate it. And if you can't help out, share the link, please. Put it on your social media. Do what you can. Flair's a great dude. He deserves every penny. And it's only help out other people, with similar interests. There's a link in the description of this video too, if you guys can't get it off the chat. But go check out Flair's interview. Part 1 is up there right now. There's a lot more content on the way. I got some funny ones for you guys coming up. There's been a lot more motorcycle crashes, I've noticed. Be careful out there. If you're riding a bike, be very aware of your surroundings. Cars pull right out in front of motorcycles. Like, quick. And some people, when you're riding a bike, they think that, oh, the car will just stop. No, they won't. The cars don't give a shit. I saw yesterday, there was a hit and run yesterday. Man critically injured in a motorcycle crash. This was in South Windsor, Connecticut. There was another one in Bolton, Connecticut. And another crash 16 hours ago in Bristol, Connecticut. 66-year-old man was riding his motorcycle on Hope Street when he was struck by a car. There was a 19-year-old killed on Farmington Avenue. I mean, it's just every day there's something. Oh, this is Bristol, Rhode Island. One person was injured after a motorcycle crash Monday. 66-year-old Frank Francis Jr. of Warwick was riding his motorcycle on Hope Street when he was struck by a car. Officials say the vehicle was driven by 76-year-old Susan Arbaheta of Bristol. See, older people, I mean, sometimes they not paying attention. They don't see people. Just have to be very aware of your surroundings. Serious injuries reported in South Windsor motorcycle crash. Police say injuries have been reported in a motorcycle crash in South Windsor Friday night. Officers responded to Buckland Road in the area of Deming Street around 8 p.m. for reports of a crash. A motorcyclist with serious injuries was transported to the hospital for treatment. Metro Traffic Service are conducting an investigation. No other information was immediately available. Motorcyclist has been seriously injured in a crash in Bolton. Motorcyclist suffered serious injuries Sunday night on Route 384 in Bolton. According to the police, troopers responded to eastbound lane of the highway following reports of a single vehicle crash involving a motorcycle. One person was airlifted to a local hospital by Lifestar. The roadway was closed for several hours but reopened at 1:28 a.m. The incident is under investigation. This is like a daily occurrence. So just be aware if you're out there when you're driving a car, be aware of the motorcycles. A lot of times people will just pull out in front of a bike and think, oh, they could just stop. Nah, you got to be careful. And there's a holiday coming up, 3 more days. Happy 4th of July to everybody out there. Go celebrate our independence. For all these people that aren't celebrating 4th of July, we are going to support it. We support ICE. You got to keep the country safe. And we're going to be talking about this tomorrow. This situation that happened at a job site where a Mongol member stabs a Hells Angel at work. I was the first one to break this story. And I'm going to bring you guys some more details about what happened. I hope you guys like this content. Make sure you check out the interview with Flair. It's really good. You will not be disappointed. I think 1 through 3 is going to be out right now on members. And you can watch the rest soon. Part 2 will be dropping tonight at 10 p.m. Go check it out. I just made part 3 available for everybody that has a membership. So if you don't have a membership, go get one. You will not be disappointed. I appreciate all you guys. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mother's brother's sister's friend about Chatting with Stacks. Say it's the dopest motorcycle content on YouTube. But I appreciate everybody. If you want to donate to the show, you can hit up Cash App at Chatting with Stacks. Every single dollar helps. It goes a long way. And if you want to tell your story on Chatting with Stacks, just email me at BillStacks2021. Oh, yeah, and I got some more good news. I got another big sponsor in the bag. So I appreciate all you guys' support. We're only getting bigger. We're going to keep growing every day, and I couldn't have done it without you, without me. I mean, without you, there is no me. That's how it goes, right? But I appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too fucking bad. Start your own podcast. I appreciate all you guys. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged. And investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
FBI!